Hey there, PokeMoshPit. Pinobi, also known as TheAcousticKind here, bringing you their Pokemon narrated Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be a 4th generation UU tier match. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. It is versus Wanderer of the Wind. Both of our links will be in the description if you want to check them out for any reason. We had this battle a while back, but I thought it was a pretty decent one, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Like I said, he's going to be leading off with the Claydol. I'm leading off with the Moltres. My Moltres particular investment, I know that I can take any hit from a Claydol, at least the basic Claydol sets, usually either Earth Power and Shadow Ball. If he had been a Trick lead, that could have really thrown me off my game there, and I would have been stuck with a Scarf on my defensive Toxic Stalling Moltres, which would not have been pretty. But he went for Toxic, probably predicting me to be a Scarf set myself, because a lot of Scarf set Moltres go in the lead spot to U-turn out for Switch Initiative and all that kind of stuff. And he actually sets up his Stealth Rocks after seeing that I'm a sub-Toxic set, because after getting Toxic on it, there's not that much more I could do. So that was smart by him, although he accidentally misclicked Rapid Spin on the following turn, so he did take a little additional damage, which is going to, put some wear and tear on that. So he switches out to Driftblim, which tells me he doesn't have a really hard Moltres counter, at least so I think. I'm going to have to keep that in mind, that Moltres is a high priority for me, since he didn't seem to have a good counter for it. And I went for the Toxic here, just in case he had some sort of berry he was baiting to activate to outspeed me. I just thought it'd be a reliable way to stall him, because I have a Chansey on this team, and I could switch into that. And that Chansey does not have Toxic, so that's kind of my game plan there. But after seeing no berry activating, I'm just going to go ahead and sub down to make it so that he is low enough for a Flamethrower to finish him off. And that's going to be an early 6-5 for me. So we're going to see how he's going to try to bounce back from this situation. He's going to go ahead and bring in his Tauros, his Brahma Bull. Obviously, I'm fearing the Stone Edge, although I'm really not liking the matchup at all, even without the 4 times effective move. So I'm going to go into my Leafeon, my physical wall. This thing does have Wish, so I can pretty much ensure a safe switch to whatever I want. I'm assuming at this point, seeing no Life Orb, but that's a Choice Scarf Tauros. Could be banded, but the damage didn't really look like it. But something that I want to keep in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the Wish off to Chansey, not that it's going to need it. Pretty much the reason I go to Chansey is just because I don't want his Magneton to set up on my Leafeon. It could also have Signal Beam, not that it would do too much damage unless it was like a choice set. And also I have Stealth Rocks on this Chansey, so it's going to be a great chance to set those up. Cripple his pokes as he switches them in, etc., etc. Obviously he doesn't have too much longevity with a poisoned Claydol, so he shouldn't be able to spin those away too many times, even though I don't have a spin blocker on this team. So he's not going to waste his sub, obviously. So he's just going to fire off a few Flash Cannons, which isn't really going to do jack diddly balls. So, yeah, obviously Chansey is the special wall that it is. It's not going to take too much damage from that. But I am just going to Soft Boil on the switch, just so I have more bulk to tank whatever I need to tank later on in the game in case that becomes an issue and I'm not really looking to go for anything on the switch. So he brings in his Hariyama. Hariyama's a pretty good Moltres counter. The fact that he didn't bring it in tells me it probably doesn't have Stone Edge. And the fact that he goes for Ice Punch on the switch, predicting my Leafeon to come in, being my physical wall, definitely tells me he doesn't have Stone Edge. So I'm just going to go for the Rapid Spin before he Whirlwinds me out. That way my Moltres will have more longevity, and I'm thinking Moltres will be a better matchup against this Hariyama anyway, knowing that it doesn't have Stone Edge. So I do bring in my Moltres now on this turn, now that I did get rid of the rocks, which is going to be good for me. But he's just going to go for the Force Palm, didn't want to overpredict, just wanted to go for the fighting move on the Chansey, because Chansey is a pretty big threat to any team. And he decides to stay in here, let me Toxic him, and go for the payback. The fact that he did that makes me think he could be either a Rest Talk set, but I already saw 3 moves, so that means he could only have Rest. Or it tells me he might have a Heal Beller, or he just doesn't have a safe switch for Toxic Stalling Moltres, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and have my Blastoise come in here from his Whirlwind. That's really unfortunate for him. That's kind of like the worst thing that he could have Whirlwinded in, because he can't really do jack diddly balls to me, because I am a defensive variant. This team is actually quite bulky, and I'm just going to go for the Roar, predicting him to swap out, but he actually goes for the Force Palm and does get the Parahacks. Not that concerned about it, since I'm really slow anyways, and I do carry Rest on that Blastoise. So thinking based on the rest of his team, I already saw a special attacking Drifblim, special attacking Magnezone. I was thinking this was like some sort of Life Orb Sceptile, or maybe since it's named after me, Pinobi, it could be a subseeding one like I use, but he really caught me off guard with a special attack there. So I'm revenge killing, or bringing in my Blaziken with a free switch and trying to go for the revenge kill, but he does swap out the Hariyama, which is still going to take a decent amount from that Flare Blitz considering the resistance via his ability. So I'm going to swap back out into Blastoise. I don't know why I didn't go into Moltres, to be honest. Maybe I didn't want to risk it getting paralyzed, because I might need it. I might need its speed stat for later in the game to outspeed Magnezone or something like that. But I can just go for the rest here with Blastoise, which is going to be good for me, although he did take out my Heal Beller in Leafeon. So I'm kind of just using my Blastoise as a wall at this point to help stall out pokes that are already toxic. And maybe if I can sit in for 2 turns, I'll be able to wake up and Aqua Jet to finish somebody off. That Blastoise does carry Aqua Jet, which I find quite useful. So I go into my Moltres, and he predicts that very nicely and goes for the Toxic. I thought he was going to go for something else that turn, and then I'd be able to get a free sub, and he wouldn't be able to do anything to me. So he made a really strong play there, and then he's going to go for Stealth Rocks on my Switch, which was another strong play, which is going to really heavily cripple my Moltres when I bring it back in. But I know that I can finish off this Claydol with a few S-tosses, and there's not really too much he can do about it unless he carries Explosion, which if he does carry Explosion, that could be a little bit bad, but I've already dealt with most of his special attackers, and I already have Stealth Rocks up, and I know that he doesn't have an opportunity to spin again, so it's not really that big of a deal. Well, actually, he did just spin right there, so it's a bit of a lie. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go into my Blastoise. I was really happy to see that he went for the double hit there. I was really or double edge rather. I was really hoping that he would go for the double edge, and he did. So that's really good for me. And I am going to feint. And he did get a critical hit. It didn't really matter, to be honest. So I'm not really worried about that. Going to just go ahead and go for the superpower here, knowing that he could bring in that Hariyama, and he has no fighting resist left that I've seen on his team. He had the fighting immunity and the fighting resist with Claydol and Driftblim, but I took out both of those. So he brings in this Sceptile. I decided to swap out just because of the defense drops. Go into my Moltres, think it's the best thing to handle it. He does carry Earthquake, so I already saw Special with Focus Blast, and now he has Earthquake and he carries the Rock Slide. So this is some sort of mixed Life Orb Sceptile set. Maybe they're common, but I don't recall seeing them. So he really caught me off guard with that and was able to take out my Moltres, which is a bit unfortunate, but I can get the free switch in my Blaziken, which is going to just be able to revenge kill Choice Scarf Blaziken, if I didn't already mention that, and finish him off with the Flare Blitz, hence outspeeding the 120 base Sceptile. So yeah, given the fact that I'm Choice Scarfed, I'm just going to go ahead and go in for the Flare Blitz, and the fact that I outsped him tells me that he is Choice Banded, so if that double edge damage didn't already give it away, I am going to be able to take him out there. Now I'm down to just a couple pokes. I bring in my party table, just go for the Fake Out, safe Fake Out, be able to take out his Bramble Bull. He switches out, tries to save it, hoping that I don't carry the Mach Punch and that the only priority move I carried was Fake Out, but that's not going to be the case. I do carry the Mach Punch, and he has 2 fighting weeks left on his team, so that's going to be easy cleanup for Hitmontop. So that was a great game, Sykes. I really enjoyed that one. Hopefully you guys did too. Leave a like for PokeMoshPit. Feel free to check either of our channels out. Links in the description as previously stated. Have a good day, and I'll catch you guys later. So peace out.